Hi folks, this is Kerry Hefner with the LSU Ag Center, and today we're going to look at pruning a 1-year-old apple tree. Really, the tree is 2 years old. It was already a year old when I got it. It's been 1 year since it was planted, so in total the tree is 2 years old, but it's been in the ground 1 year. And we're going to look at pruning up a 1 or 2 year old apple tree. We're going to prune this to a central leader system, meaning our goal is to have one vertical stem that will provide the basis for lateral branches or scaffold branches growing out as close to horizontal as we can get, and I'll say more about that in a second. But we'll just start right here at the top. It looks like we have two branches growing vertically, and these are competing to be the central leader. So we only want one, so I'm going to have to select one. I think I'll leave this one that's slightly more robust, and we'll prune the bottom one off. So that leaves us with one good identifiable central leader. And that was called a thinning cut, meaning I've removed the whole branch in an attempt to sort of clear out the interior of the tree. We want to maximize light penetration to the interior and maximize airflow across the canopy of the tree. Now, it's from here on out, it's just a matter of doing something called heading cuts, which we do when we want to remove the terminal bud of the branch. And in doing so, we promote lateral branch formation. We promote these lateral vegetative buds right here to come out and produce scaffold branches for us. So those are going to be our flower and fruit producers. So we'll start with these scaffold branches down here. This tree has really grown out very nicely. We have one here that is trying to grow more or less vertical and will actually overshadow this lower lateral. So we're going to take that one off there. And now we'll be able to train these branches down so they're growing as close to horizontal as we can get. In other words, we want this crotch angle right here to be as close to 90 degrees as we can make it. We might be able to do that. We can only get it to 60 degrees or so, but that'll be fine. The wider the crotch angle, the stronger the branch is going to be. So if you get a lot of fruit production on a branch, on a scaffold branch, the branch will be more apt to support that instead of break. Okay, so now we come in and just look at doing some heading cuts. And let's see, I want to cut back to an outer bud. So I think I'm going to come down here on this scaffold. This outer bud right there will grow out this way instead of toward the interior of the tree. So there we go. That's a good heading cut. And we'll just work our way around the tree, trying to keep it, these scaffold branches at more or less the same length as we go around. Here's another example of a branch that sort of forks, and there's one growing on top of this longer lateral. So I'm going to take off that top branch. We really don't want that. And we'll sort of clean that one up. Now I'm ready to come back and do a heading cut to there. And heading cut on here. We're always cutting back to a bud that's pointing outward. And I think I'll leave that branch alone, and it seems to be at a good length. So here's another branch down here that is growing almost vertically, so I'm going to take that off. And now we're ready to come back to our central leader and do a heading cut on the central leader, and in doing so get it to produce another layer of laterals. So let's see, I think I'll come back to here, cutting back to this vegetative bud, and there we go. So that's all we need to do to a 2-year-old apple tree. Reestablish the central leader and do some heading cuts on this past year's scaffold branches to encourage more lateral branch formation.